Okay, still on Unit 5, back on the front page. So we're going to look at a histogram for just a second. It's similar to a bar graph. The categories are in intervals though, so it does not show the individual scores. It shows the frequency when they're grouped together. So for our example, we need to make a histogram to show Sam's quiz scores, which are the ones from up above. So first thing we need to do is do our setup here. And the intervals are 90 to 100, so I'm going to mark this as 90 to 100. And then the second group is 80 to 89, then 70 to 79, and then below 70 is down here. And then up along the side, this is going to be the frequency of his scores. So we'll just say 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will tell us how many test scores he had in each of these categories. So between 90 and 100, when we go back and look up here, between 90 and 100, he had 3 scores. In the 80s, he had 3 scores. He had 1 score in the 70s, and then he had 3 scores that were below 70. So he had 3 in the 90s, 3 in the 80s, 1 in the 70s, and 3 below. So when we go back to our graph, he had 3 scores in that category. He had 3 grades in that category. He had 1 grade in this category, and he had 3 grades in that category. So that just shows us the frequency. It doesn't show us what the actual scores are, so that would be a downfall to this one. We could still find the median because we have 3, 3, 1, and 3, so we have 10 scores. So his median is going to be between the 5th and 6th score. So there's 3 in here, then the 5th and 6th score happen right in this bar right here. So the median occurs right here. And then after that, you could go on. Now, what we couldn't do is find an average because we don't know what these numbers actually are, but we could go in and figure out the median, the lower quartile, and the upper quartile in the category. So we can't get an exact number, but we know the median is somewhere in between there. We know the upper quartile would be over here, and we know the lower quartile would be down there. Or sorry, I said it backwards because my graph is backwards, but we would not be able to find the actual median. We can't find the minimum or maximum score because all we have are the ranges. So those are some of the pros and cons to working with a histogram. The last one on the front page is the line plot, and this one is just going to show us the frequency. So it's going to end up looking very similar to a histogram. What's different though is that we will see the actual scores. So down along here, the scores on here that we're going to plot range from 1 to 5. So we'll put 1s here, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have more than I need, but we would assume that it could keep going. All right, I have a 3, a 5, another 3, a 2, a 4, a 2, a 3, another 3, a 1, and a 5. So now I can see how many of each score that I have. I could also find the median again because I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The median is going to be in here somewhere. Then I could find the upper quartile would be this one right there because I have these 5 scores. That one's in the middle. And then the lower quartile would be down here. Actually, sorry, I messed that up, the medians there. And then the lower quartile would be right in there because I have those 5 scores to look at for that one. So you can still find that. I could find an average because I know that I could add all these numbers up and then divide by the total. So this one is a little bit better than the histogram in terms of showing you the frequency, so how often each number occurred. You could find the average and do a box plot using this. So that would be some advantages to a line plot.